And good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Freestyle Frenzy Sunday from the Children of Primus, childrenofprimus.com, where we are a collective of reviewers and collectors. We get together every week and share our opinions about Transformers and anything related to Transformers. And this week's topic is going to be, has the quality of Hasbro's Transformers gone downhill? And there was a typo in the initial send out. So one person questioned if Hasbro was a third-party company, but it was Hasbro. Well, welcome, Mr. Magnus.
Good evening, sir.
How are you doing?
Oh, not too bad. Nobody else coming tonight?
A few will be here. Everyone trickling in as afterwards as usual.
I got you. Has the quality of Hasbro's Transformers gone downhill?
So I know yourself and a few others are going to be good to answer those questions in terms of the newer characters.
Do you want me to go ahead and start, or we wait for everybody to get here?
Well, we can start. Let's say, hey, Shiba Kobe, I thought you were late, but then I noticed I had to press the play button. Well, glad you're here, and you can join in on the comments on your opinions of this as well. So I ask to you, Mr. Magnus, in terms of any new releases from Hasbro, do you find that the quality isn't as good as, say, other companies, or what have you found with newer figures?
It depends. 90% of it, I'm all for, because they're like having small plastic versions of masterpieces. I grew up like you, G1s. We didn't have ankles, we didn't have wrists, we didn't have elbows on half of them.
Right.
And I really like the posability of the new figures.
Okay.
Now, the stuff that I've seen from the new movie, that's absolute trash.
Okay, I've heard that from a few others as well.
Yeah, it looks like it should be sold at a dollar store or a 99-cent store.
Wow.
It's comparable to like the stuff that we got for $5 at Walgreens. The little cheap stuff that was the knockoffs of the other ones. They're the things that I buy and keep here for when my friends bring their kids over.
Okay.
I have a whole shelf of little $5 Transformers, and whenever a friend of mine brings a kid over to see this room, I show them that shelf first, and I'm like, here, you can have anything off of this shelf.
Exactly.
And then their hands are on that one and not on these.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Hey, Mr. Iceman, 79, how's it going?
Oh, just trying to get through it. One day at a time, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what's wrong with Hasbro, but it's like they're going downhill, man. Cheap ass plastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And Shiva Kobe says, guys, I'm gonna go to a Toys R Us soon. Wish me luck in finding anything decent within the next couple days. And also says, you're not kidding. I mean, I think the Skull Cruncher mini thing is okay, but the main figures look so cheap, it's unreal.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, considering the price that of newer figures, like, you'd think they put better quality into it, but then what would you say compared to third parties in terms of what you're paying for and the quality they put into it?
Well, I'm going to say this. I've got some third parties and some actual masterpiece pieces here. Excuse me. The third parties and masterpiece still put steel in them.
Wow,
Okay.
You know, and
that's crazy.
That's a big thing. You know,
Right.
when they've got metal pins and metal parts, and then that's more durable, it makes it heavier, so it feels more. You know, it's got more heft in hand.
Right.
It's closer to what they felt like when we were kids. You know, we had the metal chest pieces and metal pins,
Right.
actual springs and sprockets, and some of them that, you know, had weight to them.
Yes.
The third party ones are the same way. Granted, the third party ones are sometimes 50% to 150% more.
Okay.
But I would pay that for a mainline figure if they put that kind of quality into it, to where it wasn't all plastic. I'm not angry at the all plastic. Like I said, to me, it's a step up from what we had.
Okay.
You know, because of the engineering that's in them. And as an engineer myself, I understand you've got to pay for engineering.
Okay. That makes sense.
But could you add $15 a figure and still sell them if you put metal back into it?
Right.
Hell, I'm buying them as they're plastic. Fuck yeah, I'd buy them if they were steel.
Oh, for
I
sure.
promise you. You know, I'm the one that spreads the multitude. You know, I've got masterpiece, I've got third party, I've got all the main lines as they come out. But which is what I'm opening today. I got a big box sitting
Nice. Nice.
I know what's in it. It's 3 Snarls and 2 G2 Ramjets.
Ooh, nice.
But the one of each one of them will be opened tonight
Okay.
and transformed.
Nice.
So I got a question then. So, what if Hot Toys made Transformers and actually make them transform? Well, people actually buy them.
What does it say again? Yeah, I kinda
Like
broke.
Hot Toys, like they do like Marvel Legends, DC. But what if they just branch out and just made Transformers to transform? They look real like the movies and stuff. It looked like the masterpiece scale, but bigger. And that's the question that I always ask because I'm into Hot Toys right now. I've been buying a couple figures, and those run from 800 to $1,000, sometimes 5, sometimes 3.
Ooh, okay.
So that's why I was hoping that if they can jump into the Transformers and make them transform, oh, dude, the game would change. It would change. Yeah.
I've recently been watching some videos on TikTok, and there's a guy out there, and his like entire collection is all Robeson.
Oh,
Like I didn't know that Robeson had that many pieces. Now there's only one that transforms,
okay.
but there's a walking, talking Michael Bay Optimus Prime. There's a walking, talking G1 Bumblebee. There's a walking, talking Michael Bay Bumblebee. But they don't transform. They just walk and do all the motions, arms, and stuff like that. That the Robeson Optimus Prime that I have that actually transforms and everything
Okay.
does all of that, but they don't transform. I was not even aware that they did this stuff, but this guy's got 5 or 6 of them.
Jeez.
Yeah, I was not aware of that either. I mean, I wonder if slowly they're working on, on making those characters transform.
Well, I know that on one of my Transformers pages that I go to, they were talking about the G2. I think it's G2. It's a G2 Megatron. That's the tank.
Yes.
Yep.
That is actually in the works, and a Soundwave, an actual cassette deck Soundwave.
Nice. Okay.
Now it would be really cool if you can go like this and eject, and one of them jump out and actually, I'm sure that they would hit flat and then transform, but that would still be cool shit.
That would be cool. But you know what? That would be an added feature. So once you pop the chest open, a cassette jumps out. If it hits the floor, it pops open and transforms.
Right, like a jump start.
Yeah, exactly.
When it hits, it'd be like a Bakugan. As soon as it hits the ground, it goes.
Yep.
And then it pops out and it runs around and barks. And growl. That'd be awesome. Just imagine you had a Ravage and Laserbeak. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, how about an RC controlled Laserbeak? That would be cool.
Oh God, make him like a drone.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Because Laserbeak never flapped his wings.
True. So you could fully build a drone and into a Laserbeak case kind of shell, and there you go.
I might have to work on this. Oh, I've got 2 or 3 little drones around here.
Nice. And Frankenstein, how's it going? And see them. Arts, how's it going?
Hello. How's everybody doing?
Not too
Good.
bad. Getting ready for the holiday.
Holiday? What holiday?
Our holiday. 4th of July is coming up for us.
One of my favorite songs by Soundgarden.
Nice. Actually, for Shiva Kohli says, I just dropped almost $50 Canadian on a Legacy Twin Cast, and also said couldn't find a blaster when it came around, either Kingdom or anything else. And also, Professor D says, large Pro D reporting in the comment section duty. Reporting for in the comment section duty.
Yeah, I got that Legacy Rewind with twin casts, as I like to call it, a day or 2 ago.
Wait, what's the reference?
When I read the More Than Meets the Eye comic, Rewind was a major character in that, separate from Blaster.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm more attached to Rewind as a character than Blaster because of that. So hence why I said I got the the Legacy Rewind figure with twin casts included. Now, I wasn't originally planning on getting them because I have the old Titans Return twin casts.
Yep, I have
But I
that
was
one
like-
too.
Okay.
But I was like, you know what? I'll go ahead and get them because I bought the Legacy Crosscut finally, just because it's a little bit more. The construction of it's a little bit more sturdy than the old Trilling Turdy one. So, since I double dipped on that character, I was like, yeah, I'll go ahead and double dip on Rewind, and I'll have a twin cast deco.
Quick thing.
All I can hear is breathing.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, what's
Don't
going
feed her.
on?
I would say, Bill, maybe it's possibly your mic, if you're able to turn it down a bit.
Yep.
Okay, that's a little bit better.
I got 2 more masterpieces to get. That's the Nemesis Prime and then the Nemesis Leo Convoy. Those are the only 2 masterpieces I'm getting. And the rest of them just sitting here like, man, what's up with all these remakes? What's up with crankcases, all these little vans, same mold? I'm like, I said, man, this is ridiculous.
Mine came with 2.
Huh?
The worst Transformer from Hasbro ever.
I'm
Oh, that
kind of baffled.
Nightbird.
Is that the one that's in the 4-pack?
No, this is that Flex Changer thing. And it's just horrible. Like, horrible. Like, it's got an elastic, and it just, like, I'm not even going to put it fully together, but, man.
If I were you, I just wait for the studio series to come out because those going to be a lot more sturdier. But we might get this stuff to next year. It's like it's just unbelievable what the hell they're doing. It's
Well,
unbelievable.
that's what we're here to talk about, right?
It's
Well,
true.
Yeah.
No, my blaster that I opened up had 2 in him.
Wow.
And so I was going to paint this one black. And then they came out with twin cast. And so I was like, cool, now I have 3.
Maybe paint that extra one as flip sides or somebody like that.
Right.
The white and pink one.
She Kobe says it was definitely my first rewind toy. You can fight with my tiny core class Rumble, who is blue. And Professor B says, whoever is heavy breathing into their mic, this is your one warning to quit it now.
Not me. I held my breath.
Well, and the breathing has stopped.
So
I was gonna say I've got my big mic turned off. That was the problem the last time.
Maybe that was it. Okay.
here's a prime example of bad quality of Hasbro. I just picked this guy up. That's all I did. And
Wow.
2 limbs.
And they
fell
just fell
off.
apart like that.
And they're these stupid ball joints. Do you see them?
It never fails, man. It never fails.
Yeah, that's ball joints. That's a reason why I decided to get that Legacy crosscut, even though I have that old Trilling Turdy crosscut because of the ball joints. And I got my crosscut like new in box. And it's just ball joints, even since Beast Wars, don't hold as. And there was a few ball joints in Generation 2 don't hold up over time as well.
So I was complaining the other day about how Hasbro doesn't have many pins, right? And it's been a big problem for all the Studio series. Like if they would have just put a pin in something, it would have held that piece in there. But I was just looking at my new Rise of the Beast Prime, and you know, he does have 1 pin. Do you see the pin and where it's at? And look what it's for. Just this flap right here. That's all it's for. Okay? Now, when I bought this guy, he was, I think he was $49 at Walmart, Canadian, right? Now, let me show you what I bought just the other day, came in the mail, and I only paid $31 for it. Now, this is the black one, but look at the difference.
Ooh.
$31, $50 plus tax.
Wow.
$31, $50 plus tax. You know, and I don't know what to call this guy because there's different names for him everywhere, but here's the box.
Yo, that's crazy.
And this is on Amazon. It came the next day. And now there's a slight little problem with transforming this guy, but it's something that you always face with a rotating chess piece where you have to get everything out of the way correctly. But as for transformation, this is so clean compared to this thing right here. And I'm paying top quality price for a toy that doesn't even have die cast. This has die cast. Now, mind you, it's only in that spot right there. I don't know if you could see, but that's the only die cast, but it still has die cast.
Okay.
Well, what you're paying is corporate greed. That's what
Yes.
you're paying right now.
What was that brand name again? Can you hold that box up again? Mechanical Alliance.
Mechanical Alliance,
Yeah.
Dark Commander.
Yeah. And you have to type these in too as well. The YS04A or B. and you'll find the black, and I'll pull out this guy. Now just look at the colors, you guys. Look at the colors. Sorry, it's hard to get it in front of you here, but look at the color difference between these guys. You don't see any wheels in his back, do you? Nothing.
Nope.
And this is their version of Rise of the Beast, I guess. Like
He's $27.99 US.
yeah, see what I mean?
Yeah, 'cause even the red is a lot more vibrant on the other one. Like it looks like a better build.
And way better instructions. Way better instructions. I was stopped and stumped with him when I first got him. Like, I didn't know what the heck to do with this guy. Because the instructions were just so bad.
Shiba Kobe on YouTube is asking Terracon Freezer Core Class.
He is.
And Shiba Kobe also says, man, my Wally Mart had a gazillion Core Class Studio Series 86 Ironhide. I bought one. Next time I came to the store, they were all gone.
Wow.
Yeah, I hadn't seen him yet. I only seen like the Thundercracker and the Nemesis Prime cores here and there, but not like regularly. I'm still seeing like Iguanuses and Skywarps and Hot Rods from Wave 1.
Okay.
And the old Bumblebee movie Shockwave and Ravage cores. So cores have been slow in my area.
So I guess a question
Still
to...
got hot rods.
Oh, you still have Hot Rods?
The core class hot rods. Those series. Hot Rods, Iguanas, and Skywarp, I think they were.
Okay. So here's a question to everyone. In terms of the newer Hasbro figures, and has any of you run into issues or any specific issues, including like paint chipping, just not strong quality and with the transformations and so on?
I know I said to you on, I can't remember if it was the Instagram or YouTube post, in the comments, I know I had my first Earthrise Wheeljack came with one of the tires missing, and this was closed box before the open boxes. And then my first Kingdom Core Megatron didn't come with his little gun. And then both versions of the Netflix Megatron, because I gave the first one to my nephew, because I wanted to get the purple crystal version of the fossilizer.
Okay.
But both of those Netflix Megatrons and that Netflix Soundwave yellow in the joints and whatnot.
Like I was just showing, I haven't even had this for, I'd say, I don't know if you can see the two different yellows now, but
yeah, you can see it's the two
So
shades of yellows.
so I've only had that for maybe about 3 months, and it's never been in the sun, nothing. So yeah, yellow is a bad color. Like, use the same plastic. Stop switching the plastics, But he's another character that, you see? Another character that when you move stuff, it just pops right off. Like it's nothing. Why couldn't you just put a pin in there, Just a little, like, every time I go to transform it, it comes off. Just a simple little pin. Stick it in there. But now,
David Miller on YouTube says, "Sup, fellas?" And how's it going to you, sir?
How's it going, Dave?
Thank you for coming by, and also for everyone who is watching at the moment. Like and subscribe to the like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're here every week, and any questions and ideas that you have, let us know, and catch us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and also in the community section on YouTube as well. Now to ask everyone, in terms of third-party characters that you guys have, has there been any third-party characters or companies that you've had issues with? That
I'll let everybody go first.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. So in a sense, any third-party characters you've had issues with that would make you think they're almost like buying a Hasbro product.
I personally have not had problems with mine, but a lot of people complain about the TFM Stunticons.
Okay.
The metallic version of them, they chip real bad at all the joints. I don't handle mine that much. Mine are on display more than anything. So I can't vouch for the validity of that.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Yeah, Calvin, what about you?
I don't mess with third party. Like I said, I'll push them all down and kick them to the side, put them in the trash can.
Oh, my Primus. Why?
I would say the only one I want third party is Death Source, and that's it. That is it. That's all I want.
You're missing out on dudes like that right there. He's a little dusty, but that Predaking is a beast. I would buy him 10 times over if I could afford it.
Oh, don't say that. You can afford anything. You put your mind to it.
Yeah. All right, so I got one that's really bad. And I mean, like, this toy was horrible. I paid $300 US for this toy. I was waiting for this version of Optimus Prime for a long time. The company is called Toy World, and the toy is called Knight Orion. All I did was move his arm. I forgot to bring him because I was going to show him. All I did was move his arm to attach his shield, and it literally broke in 3 pieces. Then I turned it upside down to see what the hell happened. I thought maybe I just popped out a joint or something, and the pin that holds his neck and chest and head onto his body fell out so loosely that the head fell off and the chest and the back piece. And I was like, no way. I just paid $300 for this thing, and it is now destroyed.
Wow.
It was a big disappointment because I not only had to pay $300 US, but I had to pay duty and shipping for it as well. And now the company that I bought it from, I emailed them many times showing them pictures of what happened, and I was asking for a refund, and they ended up blocking my email.
Wow.
Yeah. And like, if you watch any of even Emgo's review on this toy, he'll never transform it again. That's how bad it is. So, yeah, that's the only third party I've ever had problems with.
All right. Catch up on the comments. David Miller on YouTube says it's me, Triple D XXX3, and Professor D on YouTube in the comics says he agrees with Frankenstein that Cybertron Mode B is so awesome in terms of alt mode aesthetics, although all the more reason it sucks that the material and build doesn't measure up.
Look how tiny he is, right? And this guy cost me a fortune because it was a Target exclusive and it's not in Canada. Okay, I had to get him, but look how small he is, and for $100, he should be the size of a masterpiece.
I guess hold him up again. How much are there any metal parts within him?
None, not one,
Wow.
not one. And here's the B. These are the two Cybertronian vehicle buzzworthy ones, Jazz and Bumblebee.
Okay.
But okay, so in Bumblebee, there are some pins. I don't know how well you can see, but there's 4 pins, I believe, or maybe there's 6 pins.
Okay.
But that doesn't exclude the fact that as soon as you try to take this piece and bend it over, because it's supposed to bend over, right? Every time there's no pin, and you have to snap it back into place.
Wow.
Every time. And he's a pretty big bee for a Bumblebee, you know, considering the G1 Bumblebee, how small he was. He was pretty big. And, like, I've been waiting my whole life for those characters. The Seekers with the points, even Soundwave turning into a street light or whatever the heck he turned into. I've been waiting for them toys forever. You know.
Well, I know Mr. Magnus has the Seekers on the Tetra Jets.
Yeah, I got 2 of those Tetra Jets, and I'm trying to get the other 6.
Oh yeah, they're all kind of in the.
What's going on, man? How's it going? Oh, chilling. Hey, how you doing? All right, just chilling, man.
Working with us and coming for a while.
Oh yeah. I know. Same department.
So let's see, and over Mr. Black Goldfish, welcome once again. Says hi. What happened with the Walmart Velocitron exclusives?
Never happened. I never seen it. Like fortunately, I live in a city where no one buys Transformers because they just sit on the shelves for months and months and months. And I never seen it at all. I go every week.
Yeah, I know I never saw the Galaxy Force Shuttle. I never saw that one. I got Shadow Strip and whatever the GoBots character is called, Crasher. I found them, and I was like, I'm getting them. Because I know if I don't, when I saw them, they were going to be paying the late to tardy tax. And I know there was that Rodimus redeco the Hot Rod redeco that was supposed to get released in Velocitron that's in limbo. That there was some stolen copies leaked online of it. But yeah, it looks like basically they stopped doing that line, and I guess we're getting that crazy 90s color unreleased G2 Decos line is replacing what Velocitron line was.
I was going to ask you, so what city are you in?
What's that?
What city are you in?
I'm in Windsor, Ontario.
Yeah, because we haven't got Crasher nor Drag Script here, nor on that Shadow. We never got that either, and we never got a couple of those reissues. Because I'm here in Minnesota, and we never seen those figures yet.
Well, I just think Hasbro needs to stop with this exclusive stuff and produce enough toys for everybody. Stop playing around. Stop making all these silly lines and stick to 3 major ones. Like, it's just getting frustrating, you know, going out to try to buy what you want and you can't find it nowhere.
Yeah, because I think there was Walmart exclusives. And then again, you know how like people just get access to more stuff than what other people do, because I was just like, this is crazy. Why is like I go to my Walmarts, it's just ridiculous. I watched a dude last week, which I got to see in that post. I caught a dude last week buying everything off the damn shelves. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And these are people who work there. I'm catching
Yep.
employees taking stuff, putting it in the bag. That put it on the shelf because I had caught one of the guys I had bought. I think it's one of Expedia. I think it's one of the series. I forgot the female transformer name, but I ended up buying it. And the dude took the whole boxed everything back up, and took it to the back. Yep. Unbelievable.
Well, let's see. According to Gravedigger 69 on Twitch, it says, "I was that dude buying everything. WTF you gonna do?"
And yep, and that's why you broke. And I'm rich.
Well, in terms of exclusives, Shiva Kobe says Target exclusives such as Buzzworthy Bumblebee are available, generally speaking, through Toys R Us if you have any nearby, and also says in Canada. But then she also says, "What you mean, like Galaxy Shuttle, Road Hauler, and Cybertron Override? I saw a ton of those in the Walmarts in BC around my area."
Well, I don't see nothing.
That is crazy.
That did happen to one of the other members who's here sometimes. The Toy Facts. He also mentioned that he didn't see any of the Galaxy shuttles where he was, but the Walmart here, there was still like a shelf full of them. And by the time they mentioned that they were going to stop releasing them or stop manufacturing them, that's when people slowly started buying them. So I was able to grab two to send over to him. Because again, like Hasbro, Walmart, and and all the distributions, they just seem limited in terms of who gets what and where.
Wow. Yeah, but you know how Hasbro do it, right? They stop manufacturing, then they wait 2 years later and put the same figure back on the shelves, and probably gonna call it Legacy 3 or Legacy Universe. So.
All right. So I got this thing finally transformed. Sorry, guys, but let's just take a look at a Hasbro $50 toy to a $35 knockoff. So here is his truck mode for the $35 knockoff. You can see that it's pretty clean and tight. Okay. Even the bottom, very clean and tight. Everything closes up. I forgot to flip out a piece here, but that doesn't matter. Now let me show you the Hasbro one. Okay. Nothing, like even the wheels. You can see the wheels. Look how flimsy that is. Sorry. But look how flimsy that is. And that's supposed to stay into place. But even when you put it into place, the wheels are outwards. They're outwards. I don't know if you can see that, but they're outwards. But like, look at the bottom. It's clean, except for this big cavity for this loose, super loose piece. And
now, I would say hold both of those trucks up to the camera again, and really the one on the right that just looks superior compared to the version that Hasbro released.
Okay, but look at the back. Let me show you the back of this truck real quick. Okay. See here, I'll put that back up, but you can't see it. But I'll move it down so you can see the arms and how they are on the back of this truck.
Okay.
Okay. It's very ugly. Now, look at the back of this truck. Oh, it came apart again, but I was shaking it pretty bad. You see the difference?
Yeah.
Like, huge difference. 35-50, 35-50.
Yeah, huge difference.
So let me just say this right off the bat. Every single one of my Rise of the Beast characters, and I mean every single one, out of the box, a piece was popped off. For this guy, it was his head.
Damn, that's crazy.
And this is some kind of soft plastic.
Oh, wow.
Everything else on him is solid plastic. Now, if you don't have this figure and you transform him into a struck mode, it is horrible. I won't even transform him ever again. As soon as Rise of the Beast's line is gone, I'm saying, who wants to buy them all? What other characters do I got? Okay, here's some examples right here. The new Bumblebee for the video game one, and then the Rise of the Beast Bumblebee. Now, if you see right here, I don't know if you can see where I'm pointing, but this is a grill.
Yep.
It popped off, and it took me like 20 minutes to get back on, and it's still not on correctly, and it still comes off all the time. Again, with this movie bee, just by transforming the leg, it pops off every time.
Is that a ball joint?
Yeah, it's a ball joint. Another ball joint. Now, my suggestion is
ball joints, because if that was pinned, that would break there.
Well, I think they could fix it just by simply doing a pin and a rotator joint. If you have both, right? Instead of one joint, use both, right?
Yeah, I believe so. 'Cause I mean, when you look at the G1s, like those were all like, pins and I guess a rotation, and like those were perfectly fine.
Yeah, when Frankenstein was
just died, so it might not hear me too well. And I just charged it. Another Walmart great.
So Mr. Blackfish on YouTube says, last year I bought 2 Scourge at Walmart in Mississauga. And Shiva Kobe also says there's still 5 or 6 of the Studio Series 86 sweeps on the shelves of my local Walmart. They've been shelf warming for months.
So one of my apprentices at work gave me this.
Oh,
Is that the Knight? That thing's cool. I want 20 of them.
Oh, that is so cool. That is very cool.
I wouldn't want to cut or stab anything if you can see it. It doesn't really lock in real good on the side. But it's neat to have just kind of on the shelf.
Yeah.
And it's got an Autobot logo. He said, I saw that picture on the front of your truck and I saw this and I knew that you would want it.
Oh no. This
He
guy.
doesn't even know what it is.
It's a can opener.
It's now my official tape cutter for boxes.
There you go. So Mr. Black Goldfish on YouTube also says, I wish a third company
oh, Dirge.
Would make a knockoff Leader Class Earthrise Kingdom Optimus Prime without the trailer, also a Nemesis Prime repaint of that figure.
Oh boy. You say you got Dirge over there, and that's like the repackage from the 2-pack, the Target exclusive.
Yep.
Oh, he was Frost was the Amazon exclusive. Dirge and Ramjet were the Amazon 2-pack exclusive. Yep. As well as the Prowl and Ironhide, they were also Amazon exclusives, and they got the Dying repack and Target coming out.
Now, of all those exclusives, were they all from Hasbro or from another company?
Nope, Hasbro.
Hasbro.
Okay. And then what's the
HASBRO'S.
and what is their quality like?
Remember, I didn't. I had the in terms of Target exclusives. I had the Earthrise Skywarp and Thundercracker. And I
Yep.
think the Skywarp, his one wing always wants to pop off.
Interesting.
But otherwise, and then when Freakenstein a little while ago was showing that 1B about the grill popping off, that reminded me that my Siege Chromia, her crotch plate would pop off. So I finally just got to the point where I just took some super glue, because it wasn't meant to pose or move. It's just they'd use some crappy glue or too short a peg to keep it on,
Wow.
if not both. So I just screw it, I'm gonna fix this myself.
Dang.
But we shouldn't have to fix our toys for the price we're paying, man.
And then I remember the grapple from Earthrise. I mean, it was fine other than you had to shave the pegs down. And they fixed it on the Inferno and later the whatever the Velocitron version of that mold was, Road Hauler. I mean, they fixed the pegs on those two versions, but that grapple version, if you didn't sand down the pegs before the first time you transform it, normally the first time you tried to take them back out, to transform it back in a robot, they would break off. And that was sort of like a community fix everyone had found.
That's crazy. I mean, and it's not just Transformers. Like, there's other industries of products where a company puts out a product and the community ends up fixing it as opposed to the company. Because just, everyone has the same issues, the same frustrations, and they sit down and figure out a solution. But then you would think, well, the company should either re-release that item, as like a version 2 with the fixes, or just
working change or whatever they call them.
Yeah, or just do a proper testing before even releasing it in the first place.
Look how many Masterpiece our Starscreams there are. It's ridiculous. They're on version 3.0.
And then when you say that, are the multiple versions?
Yeah, it's just they're fixing the crap.
That's all it is.
Garbage.
Wow.
And it's still not a perfect toy, not even close.
Well, I asked the same question on Reddit, and actually it ended up breaking down into separate questions. Like one being, has any of your Transformers from Hasbro broke after you transform it the first time? The second question, broke while it was shipped. The third question, has the paint shipped? The fourth question is the quality not worth the listed price? And the fifth question, are other companies doing a better job? And the responses were, let's see, a lot of people were saying that theirs broke the first time, but then few were saying they didn't have issues with it breaking or the paint chipping. But then a lot are, let's see, one says, there aren't any other companies making Transformer type figures outside of third parties. So you can't compare the 3Ps because they have a different budget. They have a different budget and can ignore safety regulations and market to a niche of the collectors crowd. I do think in terms of hoops, Hasbro has to jump through. They're mostly fine, but the yellowing is a huge screw up that's only going to get worse as these toys age, because there's definitely bad engineering here and there.
Well, I've collected a lot of third party, and I could say this. They're not working with a huge budget, because most of the time they have to do like a GoFundMe or whatever to get the product going, or or what's that other website there, where you pay
Kickstarter.
Kickstarter,
Right.
right? So like even when they did the Unicron, that was kind of like a Kickstarter thing. They said, we're not going to make this till you get so many, and then they extended it another 3 months, and it was kind of like using Kickstarter. So even Hasbro has done that. But like, I see the budget problem is this: you have way too many lines, and you're not focusing on good toys. Make a toy for kids 8 and under. Make a line for them. Then make your studio series, because you always got to do that for the movies or cartoons or whatever the case may be. And then focus on 2 other good lines, like your Masterpiece and your Leader Class or whatever, right? Like they have their eggs in too many baskets, and they're not producing quality. Like I cannot tell you how many times I've seen a toy on Hasbro Pulse, and like I got to get that toy, and then when I get it home, there's so many missing gaps and kibble all over this thing. It's like, why didn't you show that in the picture? Show me what I'm actually getting. Don't mask it as something better than what it really is, because that's when I start to feel ripped off, because I'm paying for quality and I'm not getting quality.
Right. So Shiva Kobe says, Rise of the Beast is in the theater this week. Well, I guess you're just getting the Rise of the Beast out in the theaters over there, which I didn't really realize. It's and it was a bit of a delay in terms of different parts of Canada. And Cruiser Motorsports on YouTube says, "Oh yes, I would have been lost." Lol. So let's see, a couple more comments. Let's see. One other person said that it's an awkward question to answer because there are a lot of factors to work into it. Overall, do I think they are worth the money? Yes. Otherwise, I wouldn't buy them. However, I mainly buy secondhand or during sales if I can help it. Of the ones I've bought new, they're expensive, but actually, given inflation and massive improvement in looks, posability, and transformation, they are not actually that much more than they were when they came out in the 80s. And it said, so far, none has broken on first transformation, but they tend not to transform them too often. But they do have a few paint scuffs on some of the legacy figures, but none have arrived broken or damaged.
That's crazy.
So I guess in that sense, would that put a fear in people buying the newer figures to just keep them in the box and not want to transform them?
Difference.
Oh boy.
This is the one from the 2-pack.
Yep.
And this is the Legacy.
What, they just trimmed it down a little bit, changed the little colors up a little bit, and that's it?
Yep.
See,
Same
told you.
face.
What is it like?
I don't even see a difference in the colors.
Pretty much.
I think I heard that with those brown wings, like on the one version it's actual brown plastic, and then the other version it's the painted plastic or something. I don't remember.
Oh, there's a difference. Look inside the 10mm hole.
Yeah, like one of them is kind of
see-through. The new one is blue. The new one is blue inside the hole. Oh no, I'm sorry, I got that backwards. This one, yeah, this is the new one. No, this is the old one. This is from the 2-pack. So the 2-pack has got blue inside the 10mm hole on the wings.
So that's the paint, the one where the wings are painted then?
Yeah. So this one is probably a painted wing, and this one's actual brown plastic wing.
Did you get Dirge online or offline?
I'm sorry?
Did you get Dirge online or offline?
I got them from Big Bad Toy Store.
Okay. Yeah, I know he's my first 4-star bot in the Netflix version of Forged to Fight, so I've been like looking into maybe getting him that Legacy re-release as well as the old Cybertron redeco of the Starscream in Dirge colors.
Okay, so here's one more thing. This one is detailed down in all the crevices as well.
There's a lot more detail in that.
Yeah, it's darker down in it. Whereas this one here is the one that's all plastic.
So yeah,
plastic, and so therefore the details pop more, and you can see there's a little shade difference in the color of it.
Yeah, the paint probably doesn't get as deeply into the crevices, and hence it has more of that blue plastic showing through the paint a little bit, giving it kind of that more panel lining look. Whereas with all plastic, like you said, it gets lost.
Well, Freeman said, I gotta say, now are there other characters that from Hasbro that you would have issues with?
Oh,
Kingdom Scorponok suck.
Dang.
Well, I guess before you answer that question, Sedum, what in terms of the Kingdom Scorponok, why do you say it's that it sucked?
It's just like a weird. He's like a weird, stocky compared to what he was like in the original Beast Wars show. He's just kind of weird proportions and compared to everybody else. At least with like the Rhinox, I know a lot of people hate on that one as well, but it still has like decent proportions. It almost feels like he's mixing, like he should have like they actually, for like one of the upgrade kits, they add a little extra section to make his torso longer, as well as things to make his thighs longer, because he just has some very weird proportions, both in Scorpion and Robot mode.
Oh, okay.
So
it's just a weird figure.
if you can see here on this character, this moves nice and easily, right?
Yes.
Okay. And I forget his name. Sorry, guys. He's part of Manosaur G2. But on this character, which is the same mold, just from transforming, the piece broke because it was so tight. And there's no way to really get it loose because it's just one of them pieces that are snapped in there. It's not like bolted in or anything. It's just snapped in there. And you have to take the whole character apart just to do it. But like this guy cost a fortune because by the time I was trying to get the right colored Manosaur for War for Cybertron, I think it was, or no, Combiner Wars, they only had this guy. And I think I paid like $2.99 for the full set, and it was one of these Unite Warriors sets.
Okay.
Which is still Hasbro and Takahara, but like I haven't touched this guy in over a year, and that yellow plastic, again, that yellow plastic, he's got multiple spots where the yellow is changing color, but this, it's like I can't even fix this.
I noticed, speaking of Combiner Wars, noticed that my little Legends groove, like one side of him is yellowing. So I guess at some point that side must have been facing the sun, and like, because I can, if I like have his legs positioned where his outer sides of his legs are facing forward, I see that. I mean, I can see the difference. So sooner or later, I'm going to buy a bunch of hydrogen peroxide, and since that's an easy fix, since it's just that one side that got, I feel like that might be fixable, but like those Kingdom Cyclonus, that's the other figure that had yellowing in the joints, the gray plastic for the joints.
I keep on thinking in my head that Unicron is going to yellow one day. And for the price I paid for these guys, I'm going to be real angry when it starts to yellow. But already when it came out of the package, the planet's rings were a different color. And for the price that I paid for that, there's no way that it should be two different tones of color.
Right.
Like I said, Hasbro is just dropping the ball when it comes to quality control. But I also watch all their Hasbro stuff, and I see these guys that say, yeah, I worked on this, I worked on that, I worked on this, I worked on that. And I'm like, you're acting like you did us a favor, but we're being ripped off still.
Mm-hmm.
So again,
just a repaint, right? That's all it is, repaint.
This is the 2-pack. The 2-pack is painted blue plastic for the wings. And this is actually brown plastic for the wings.
Interesting.
Reminds me, I know the other Amazon exclusive initially. Well, no, it was an Amazon exclusive both times. Punch Counter Punch, like his second release had less paint on it as well. Like the original from Powers of the Primes had metallic red on the inner the wheel on the hubcaps, whereas the re-release in the I want to say the Earthrise Galaxy Chase 2-pack or whatever it was, the wheels didn't have any paint on them. They were just all black. So that seems to be a common occurrence when they get re-release of figures. They put less paint on them and they rely just more on the plastic color. Which, I mean, I don't mind. I mean, there's pros and cons to both. I mean, obviously, when it's the straight up plastic, you don't have to worry about chipping as much, but then when you have with like the crevices and whatnot, the paint, when it's painted over, you kind of get that panel lining effect, but then you have to worry about chipping. So there's pros and cons to both types. But with that punch counter punch, it's just a loss of detail altogether. I mean, there was, like I said, there was red head caps on the Power of the Primes version, and then the Galaxy Chase 2-pack with the Earthrise barricade. It's just lost detail on that.
Well,
it's not
again, I just want to show this again one more time here, guys. But I don't know if you can see this, but this top color here is one color red. That's another color red, and these are another color red. You can hardly see it, but there's 3 reds right there. And this is a brand new toy. Brand new. And there's 3 different colors of red.
The Studio Series 86 Ironhide has that same issue where you have like multiple shades of red plastic plus the clear blue plastic painted red, and then there's multiple shades of red painted stuff. So you end up having something like 4, maybe 5 shades of different reds on the same figure. And then I remember Sunstreaker and Earthrise, they had a problem with the paint matching. It's like, just do like, instead of trying to paint color match, if you know you can't color match, the main color, just because what they did with the I saw, what was it, Prime versus Prime? He had the video of the dying Ironhide and Prowl. They did them in all solid plastic, and then they painted the windows, and like the color matching on those versions are so much better than the original releases.
So I don't know if you guys ever used this, but these are thermoplastic beads, okay? And I use this for all kinds of repairs for my transformers. You want to know how I get the color changing on them? Marker. Just a little bit of marker, and I mix the color until it matches. Okay? Now, in big companies, they use other tiny little pieces of plastic of a color, and you mix it in with this white, and it turns that color. You just need a little bit. Like, for every 100 beads, I just need one black bead, and this whole thing is black. So, the manufacturers who are pressing these molds, whoever Hasbro is getting to, say, sign off on these, I think needs to get a pair of glasses. Because this is simple stuff, folks. Really, it is. And here is the clear stuff that I use to make my own blast effects. And again, if you look on the back, it comes with all these colors. And all you have to do is drop one of them pellets in to change the color. It gives you, there's a diagram right here that says how many to make what color. Now, this is like stuff for cosplay, but a 2-year-old can mix the colors properly and come out with better results than whoever's in charge of quality control about the colors that go into these molds.
Wow. One of the earlier comments from Ninja Build Reviews on YouTube, it says, I'm a Bandai Tamashii Nations guy, and they definitely beat out Hasbro in materials, consistency, and quality. Oh, and Magnus has Studio Series 86 Dinobot Snarl. Nice.
Opening him now. Where's my fancy Autobot knife?
Hiya.
Yeah, if I remember right, he actually comes with a sword unlike the prior ones.
So actually,
God
Mr.
bless, these guys are monstrous.
So yeah, that bludgeon being a Tarn repaint. I mean, I see what design of bludgeon they're going for, but as someone who has the old I think it was Revenge of the Fallen or Hunt for the Decepticons, one of those like Bayverse lines where they had a version of bludgeon, and it feels very bulky and armored, whereas. And again, I mean, I get what they're going for with that Tarn. Like, I could pull out like a comic, like it was one of the annuals that from the IDW 2.0 when they were going for that design and whatever that Bludgeon 2.0.
Okay.
But I just don't like it as much because I feel like Tarn. I mean, he's more robotic, whereas Bludgeon, I want him to have that more samurai look, which that old movie toy does.
Right.
Yep.
But I do get the design, what specific version of Bludgeon from IDW they're going for. I do, if in that regard, it is a good representation of that version of Bludgeon. But I was like, it'll be like something that I would pick very hesitantly, like I did Twin Cast and Legacy Crosscut. Now, if I just keep on seeing it, it's like, because I like the character.
and I want that. I want to see the character get more toys.
Mhm.
See,
Officially,
that's another
but
line right there. I know you're going to read it, so just read it first. But I want to say something about this line.
Okay, so Shiva Kobe
Oh,
says, I'm
God.
still waiting for Red Shockwave, Knockout, and Galvatron to show up.
So I have not bought one, but I've seen many. And again, for a toy that doesn't do anything, that is static, why are you buying it? I don't understand why you're buying it. You'll never get a pose except for that one standing straight pose. Now, I would buy them if they had some kick-ass poses, like, Soundwave with laser beak on his arm and, Ravage at his feet. I would buy that. But I would not buy a static toy that is standing there like he's a British Queen's Guard. I don't understand that. And I won't understand that. Like, we've seen how kick-ass even Marvel characters are, that they have, like the Red characters, and they're static. But they have a pose. They have that look of, that's badass, I want to buy that. It looks like he's really kicking butt. You know what I mean? But the Red, like, I'm just like, you're buying a nutcracker.
Well, I guess I would throw a counter argument because, I mean, especially from the G1 days, with the limitations of poses that you could do. I've had some characters where I found kind of that perfect pose for them with depending on the character and depending on what their ability of posing is, and that character would sit in that pose on the shelf for at least a decade. Like, and it's like I'd never transform him, and he's like, that's just his pose. That's all he's gonna do. So in a sense, what would be the difference?
Well, the difference is this: you have it either in alt mode or in the same pose, right? But
Yeah.
all these things lined up together look static because they're all the same pose.
Got
One
it. Okay.
straight up thing. Whereas
Right.
when you put your toy on there, you might have Optimus Prime in his truck mode, and next to him you got Megatron standing there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But they're all the same pose. No matter which one you buy, it's a static, straight up, arms down. I'm a British soldier. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, me personally, I like them the way they look, but to have them so static where I can't pick it up and pose it, even if I didn't touch it for 10 years,
Right.
and I can't move it, it's like, I might as well collect, like, what's called, like porcelain dolls, or like glass
Or just buy
statues.
like PVC statues or stuff like that, or resin kit statues.
And again, I felt one, and that quality of plastic that's in there, you just know
it's
if it's
gummy.
in the sun, it is going to fade like crazy.
Mm. So Shiva Kobe on YouTube says, OMG, you're right about the studio series Ironhide.
You think?
And also says, I have him in full size too. Mr. Blackfoot Goldfish on YouTube says, true Frankenstein is right about paying more for bad quality paint job. Shiva Kobe says, hey, I just like the articulation and cartoon accuracy. I use it for photo comics. They are very posable. I have the Coronation Starscream, the Cloth Cape, Bumblebee, Optimus Prime, and let me get my mouse working. Optimus Prime, RC, Megatron, reformatting Megatron.
And what line was that? I didn't hear what line that was.
I think she was referring to Red.
I believe she's referring to Red.
They're posable? Who's got one? Someone's got one? Let's see the poses that it does, because they look static as hell to me. They don't look like they can do anything.
Oh,
Any of
sorry,
us have
Billy.
one?
If Anthony was on, I sent him the Cheetor red because I'm not a fan of Beast Wars, and I found it at a little Give Me Five store, and so I gave it to Anthony. So if he was on, he could show it to you, but I don't have any of mine open.
Which I would say a shout out to Anthony because he's not here this evening. He's having his engagement party.
Holy crap!
And Jess, so congratulations to them. And he did say a comment in terms of today's topic. If I could scroll back on it. There we go. So he says that his opinion is the prices have gone up, but quality is still good, especially since Siege started around 2018.
Now, here's an older character. I don't even, what is it from? Dark of the Moon? Okay, and he's an exclusive.
Oh, the evil Thundercracker. Oh, boy.
Okay, and, I looked online to see how much he was. I'm not going to tell everybody the price that he was, but look at how much I paid for him.
$30.
Oh, I already know how much he cost.
So I found a place in my city that is very good to me. Someone's selling all their Studio Series stuff for cheap. I've been fortunate enough to buy it for $10, $15, $20, $25, and $30. This is the most expensive one that he's got there, but they're all pretty much $10 to $15 for all the Studio Series stuff. And I just look at the back of this box, okay? And I can already tell that that's going to pop off and that's going to pop off so easily.
Yeah, I
Because
can see
again,
that.
it's those ball joints that don't fit properly. I have no problem with ball joints because a lot of my third-party transformers have ball joints, but the difference is this: they actually fit into the socket, whereas Hasbro's, it's so loose every time you move it a certain way, it comes out every time. It's just that one way, and it'll always pop out. Now, I've bought in third-party knockoffs of Studio Series. Okay, not once have I ever got one that ball joint wasn't tight enough. How are these companies with less money, less resources, and the man that actually makes these, drop the ball on the ball joint?
Mm-hmm. Well, I know Professor D's, listening in and the comments. Cause I was gonna say myself, I don't have any third-party transformers, but I was under the assumption that they wouldn't go, that they didn't have ball joints, and they would still have metal pins and everything. Whereas, the cheaper you go with quality, that's where the ball joints come in. Whereas, with the higher end items, you wouldn't find ball joints.
Here's a prime example.
Well, I would say it's the new stuff.
This here's a third party, okay? And he is very cheap. He was like $12. Now he's very loose and everything, but he's got the same ball joints. And the only reason why I got him is because my Hasbro one, the arms, I'm pulling on this, guys. I'm really pulling on this. These are ball joints in this third party right here. They're ball joints, and I'm pulling on this, and they're not coming apart. Not at all. On my Hasbro one, I couldn't even move his arm up like this without it coming off.
Wow.
So $11 on AliExpress, as for what, $39 it was when it came out for Hasbro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Shiba Kobe was saying that it was the RD line, and says I have a ton of them. It also says, but I'd have to show you my photo comics. And also says, by the way, I also have RED Soundwave.
Like, I've shown you third-party companies that are way cheaper than Hasbro now, and they make better quality. And again, these are companies that get the mold, copy the mold, okay? And molds aren't cheap. For one mold, even in China, you're looking anywhere from $5,000 to $25,000 for a plastic injection mold. Hasbro has to do the same thing.
Right.
On a bigger scale, though. So they get it for cheaper. These people are going to companies that are giving them the best deals. But as soon as Hasbro's name is on something and they're going to use that company, they're going to give them a huge deal because now they can put that on their resume. Again, whoever works for Hasbro, I'm sorry guys, I know you're doing your best, but whoever works for Hasbro for quality control either needs to get glasses or be a little bit more rough with them toys like a kid would be. Like, I'm an adult, I'm trying to be gentle. You gotta think about kids, you know? Be a little bit more rough and say, no, this ain't gonna pass. It needs to pop and snap in and be really hard to pop out. Not it's part, you know?
You know what I think? I think they don't have testers. And I think what they do, they take everything off the line and they just take a gamble. If they had because if they had testers, you already know what's gonna happen. Like that goes to show what the quality of the toy is.
So again, for this, like I said, this is the worst thing I've ever bought in my life. Okay. Again, though, that is an elastic. There's no extra elastics that come in with this thing. Okay. This is the elastic you get. Now, I'm a collector and I've had toys for 25 years. Okay. And none of them had elastics except for my G.I. Joes. But even a 25-year-old G.I. Joe, you try to move that waist, that elastic breaks immediately.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
So why would you, knowing this, because you do make this, Hasbro, you guys do make G.I. Joe, and you know the problem. Why would you make another toy with an elastic that is going to 1,000% in not even a year start to crack? And this toy will be worth nothing.
No, and seriously, from any G.I. Joes I remember playing with, in the around that 84, 85 time, at least by 87, 88, that little plastic that hooks it within the body, it was already deteriorating. Nice.
And
you got them already.
Parents are out there really buying these toys for these kids anyway.
He holds a sword
because
on his
I
belly.
never see kids buying Transformers ever.
Cool.
Never.
He's
like, I feel like I'm the only one that goes to Walmart or Toys R Us or GameStop and buys Transformers because they're always the same things on the shelf every time I go. Like,
he's really, really tight. I actually had to look at the directions to figure out how to move the head because I was putting enough pressure on it that I was afraid I might break something. And so I was like, okay, it doesn't just roll back. And it does. It just rolls back. You just got to put enough force on it to roll it back. But yeah, solid. I mean, heavy. He's got weight. I'm happy with it. He's fixing to go join his brothers over there in the shelf.
Nice.
Yeah, I heard good things about both the leader class and the core class Snarl. Just his position in the lineup has really benefit him because they kind of learned from the prior releases how they could do stuff better with him being the 4th or 5th release.
Yeah, Swoop rock. You know, they've had all the time in the world to figure out all the little things, all the things that didn't work before.
Because I know, like, the core swoop and the core snarl, like, they have both shoulder and elbow joints, whereas the Grimlock, Sludge, and Slag just have at the shoulder joints, and their arms both of their arms are just one piece. And the Snarl, he managed to come with a sword, whereas none of the other core classes did.
So here we got a masterpiece that I just bought, and he was quite expensive. Okay. And I'm telling you, I love the way this guy looks like in his robot mode. But if you ever seen what he looks like in his jet mode, someone dropped the ball, because it's not clean transformation. Not at all. But I am happy about one thing. He's got some die cast in him. Quite a bit, actually. He is a heavy, beefy character. And the joints are good ratchet joints. This is what third-party companies always have in every single one of their toys that, you know, aren't, you know, big like this guy. But there is a flaw in this as well. Look at this.
Damn.
It does not snap into place. There's this weird thing that
Wait,
you have to move up.
that's the masterpiece version?
Yeah, and then you have to plug it into that little slot there. It's just one little slot.
Right.
But to line it up and to actually plug it in, you have to fiddle with this part and get it right. And it never goes right. And again, this all, see?
Oh my
this,
God,
which
no.
is fine. But to get it to, like, oh, if I was a kid playing with this and I was just trying to raise his arm.
And that's why I got the War for Cybertron one.
Yeah,
I have that one too. I like that one.
I was not expecting to see the arm stretch out like that as you're transforming it.
Well, it's part of the transformation. Let's be honest, it is. But this does not tab in properly.
Well, Magnus, sorry, what were you saying?
I said you must not have been paying attention when I did the live one. Whenever I did it, when I opened it, and
oh no, far away speaking
on screen. I went,
yeah, I guess that
because I thought I broke it, and I was like, oh, it does that.
Oh boy, we're back to 1985 again.
Him out with both arms all stretched out on those joints like that.
Yeah, I guess Masterpiece's Masterpiece Jetfile's mom was Mr. Gadget's wife. So it's like Jetfile be like, Miss Go Gadget arms.
Wow, that's see? What too?
So Shibu Kohli says Reds have knee joints, arms that can raise, elbow joints, with toe joints, hip joints, waist joints, twistable, and neck joints. So exactly as you showed on on the Skyfire, Jetfire, within the, I guess, like the leg sockets, how it has like that ratchet sound. That's what I'm expecting for like any third party or any character that you're paying a hefty price for. Like I'm expecting to hear clicking when I'm turning any of the joints and not ball joints.
So I don't have the character here with me, but I do have the third party, and I believe that this is the oversized Bumblebee movie, Optimus Prime. Okay. Now, he is a lot bigger than the Masterpiece version, but I know for a fact the Masterpiece version because I have him. Listen to the ratchets on this guy. Everything is tight. You can pose this guy. And here's the worst part about it. This was $100 and the Masterpiece was $200 something. And I know when I do this with the Masterpiece, his arm will go right back down. Every time.
Wow.
So if you have doubts about third parties, this is like the most common Wei Zhang or Black Mamba or whatever you want to call them. This is like the most popular type. And the quality, again, like this guy's beefy. There's a lot of die cast in him as well.
Mhm.
But as for posability, even though he doesn't have a ratchet in his knee, it stays. So again, another company that makes a cheaper toy, better quality, better plastic, better paint jobs, chrome, real chrome, not that painted chrome stuff, real chrome. And they're doing it better than Hasbro. Like even that's even a chrome tank right there, and it's metal.
Nice.
Only thing they're missing right now is for the headlights to shine.
Yep.
That's all they missing.
Wait. So he does have a feature in the back with a button where his eyes do light up.
Oh, nice.
That's something else that Masterpiece never does.
Oh boy, look at that party of 4.
Yeah, just waiting for the swoop to show up.
Oh boy.
I want them to release Studio Series 86 Ratchet already. Because he's probably my best bot in Forged to Fight, because he has on his... Every bot has tree special attacks. On his special attack, he can hit up to 3 times and heal up to 2 times. If you hit with any one of those tree attacks, then you do a double heal rather than a single heal. And that lets me win some fights with Ratchet that I wouldn't win otherwise with anyone else. So, like, I want, like, a Ratchet figure. I mean, he looks like in Force to Fight, he has a truck, like an ambulance-based design, kind of like the Prime Ratchet, which I do have the figure of. But it's still, like, kind of the same reason I wanted the Dirge re-release, because he's a character I've been playing with a lot in the Netflix version of Forged to Fight. So I was like, come on, it's just it's a redeco and a retool of a head. Just go ahead and release it already.
So Illmatic Prime on YouTube says, stop hating on the official product and then ask the question, wear fake Rolex watches and Jordans too.
Wow, another Hasbro post ball sucker.
Well, before we answer that, Illmatic Prime, please like and subscribe. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, everyone, what's your comments to Illmatic?
Okay, so I still buy their toys. I've been collecting since I was a child. And I've actually collected before everybody collected, because I said previously before in '82 I owned the RoboCat Skyfire version before Transformers even hit the air. So I had the Transformer before Transformer. But I'm sorry, quality control doesn't excuse a brand. Okay, just because you like one brand and it's a brand doesn't mean that it's the best thing out there. I like to keep things open, and this is just my opinion. You can have your own opinion about what you like. If you are a diehard for Hasbro, that's fine. All the power to you, but I'll buy them all. I even have this guy, and this is Lewin Resources Optimus Prime. So I do not discriminate against companies But I will always pick on quality control because that's my money that I'm spending on it. Okay. Now, if you want to be a diehard, you will wear only Jordans and Rolex watches, then all the power to you. But my mind's open enough to say, you know what? There's something else out there. I need to try it.
But
That's all I got to say about that.
but just to Telematic Prime, just make sure you subscribe to the channel and like the video.
See, man,
Well,
see, this is what I'm talking about. I agree everything what he just said. Everything he just said made perfect good sense because some people always stick to one line and they don't know what else is out here that's better. And that's why I say, like, wondering, like, what is wrong with people? Like, sorry, I get offensive when people do stuff like that because they're just past aggressiveness on stuff like this because our money in our wallets do matters. It matters a whole lot because you get what you pay for. You shouldn't have to pay for janky figures that don't last long. You take it out the box. Or, you know, like me, I'm an inbox collector. But sometimes I do buy stuff on eBay that I got to fix. I have to fix it myself because Hasbro do make stuff that we got to go back and fix. When they should have these testers, that's what I meant by that. Because in the early 80s and 90s and the 70s, they had toy testers. Yes.
And they released cool stuff like a Megatron gun.
Yes. Yes, there was talk. Actually, I watched a documentary on that, and they're trying to bring that Megatron gun back, but there's too much restrictions, and then it's on a contract right now, which under that gun company.
You let every American own a gun, but you don't let them own a toy gun. And then on top of that, but you literally take a cool character, a cool shape, you know, and turn it into all these things that, in my opinion, the only good version of Megatron is the tank version. Mm-hmm. And I mean like the realistic tank version, not the Cybertronian stuff. I like it so it looks like it's a robot from Earth. Because that's what it's all about, right? Masters of the Skies, it's supposed to be disguised as an Earth vehicle. Every time I see a Megatron, you know, that doesn't look like a real vehicle, especially in the Michael Bay movies, I'm like, that you just took away his badassness. Yeah, people may think it looks cool, but it doesn't look like it's from Earth. And they're supposed to be disguised as Earth vehicles. So, again, lots of people will disagree with me about that, but you know what? It's Masters of the Skies. If I walked down the street and seen a Megatron tank or plane like he does in those movies, I'd be like, this is definitely alien.
Yes. Shiva Cody says, I have Core Class Studio Series 86 Ratchet. My friend in the USA sent it to me for my birthday through Amazon.
Wow, you guys got me pulling out all the stuff that I got here.
Yeah. What to kind of expand on what Frankenstein was talking about, where I live at, we have an Air Force base, you know, about 70 miles north of here. So seeing F-15s in the sky here, that's nothing new for us. But how often do other people see F-15s just flying over?
Right.
You know, but everybody I know, I mean, literally everybody that I know owns a handgun here.
Well, let me make this one little point, okay, guys? Let me make one little point. You won't let kids have gun toys, okay? But you'll give your 5-year-old a cell phone. You'll give your 10-year-old a cell phone. All it takes is for some 10-year-old to click, yes, I'm 18. And they're seeing people getting their heads cut off. They're seeing sexual things that they should be seeing. But you're going to ban them from a toy gun. No.
Just think about that for a good minute because it is happening. Yep.
Like censorship has, in my eyes, has disappeared.
Oh,
We are
completely.
so bored because of technology and this 7-second attention span that we lost values and
They even have
morals and
7-second attention
respect for
spans,
all the
not just
stuff
one.
that we really love.
Yeah, even 7 seconds seems a bit long for some people nowadays.
My niece loves TikTok. I can't stand that site.
Oh, there it is.
But Charlie C on YouTube says, when Japan stopped making Transformers, I believe that the quality went into the toilet.
But they haven't stopped. Takahara's still doing them. He has
Right.
never stopped.
Unless he means like where there's that time gap between Legends and whatever those premium paint jobs that he started doing in the last year or two.
Yep.
Unless they're referring to that time period of a few years, but
Well, I'm buying Studio Series 10 years old, and they're still falling apart. Like, quality's been bad for a while now, guys. Like, since the new Transformer movies with these Studio Series, like, half of them you can't even transform right because they don't even fit right, you know?
Right.
Like, they look cool as robots, but when you go to make them in vehicle mode, you move one little thing and it pops apart and it don't stay. You know, that's
Right.
quality control. If I'm paying that price, do the research, make it so it fits.
Well, Charlie C says, I used to see F-15s flying all the time.
heck, when I lived in Virginia as a kid, I had this big old picture window, even wider than my arms are, spread out. And whenever the jets from the Richmond you had the Richmond International Airport, and then someplace where the military jets would fly out, not far from it. And whenever those military jets flew over, the picture pane window would just be bum, 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 bum. And then my neighbor, he works at the Air Force Base in Dayton, Ohio.
We have an air show in the next biggest town
figure, right?
to the north
That's
of me
called
Owensboro, Kentucky.
Oh, wait, freaking Sam. Hold on one moment. Is that Magnus? What are you saying?
The next biggest town to the north of me is called Owensboro, Kentucky. And they have an air show there every year. Well, where my farm is the turnaround. So that they fly downtown, they fly over the river right there, and then whenever they make their turn 9 miles away, they're coming right over the top of our house. Okay. We have as many people sitting out here watching the air show as they do downtown. We just don't have all the food trucks. But yeah, like what he's talking about there, when they fly over here, you want your windows open. You don't want them locked because it'll rattle the glass out of the panes.
Wow.
Yep.
So I just wanted to show this off here, but this is a core class figure, and he's got these 3 weird transformations. One's like a gun mode, and one's like a turret, and one goes on the back of the truck. But he didn't come with any weapons or anything. He's just this weird little creature thing. And he was like $16 or something like that. And then they come up with these things. Okay. I guess that you can call them weaponizers. And here you just fold all this stuff, you know, and he becomes a weapon, right? Same price. How do you determine what, like, you're paying for 2 different things that are the same thing? You know, 2 different prices, but again, quality. Where is it in these things? It's not there.
Yeah,
Like,
you guys are getting shafted
at all.
Yeah, you're getting shafted in Canada for that. I think like down here in the U.S. I mean, I'm fairly close to because I'm just south. I mean, I'm south of the Great Lakes, and I'm sure some of you Canadian guys are on the north side of the Great Lakes, and not rather than east or west of them.
Right.
And like those weaponizer ones, they're maybe $5 to $6 at best USD. And the core class bots tend to be around maybe 10, maybe
Yep,
$12
$10.
max, just depending on the shop. The most I've seen them is like at Suncoast at Fairfield Commons Mall for like $20, but that's Suncoast. I mean, that's like not their normal thing,
Right.
so you're paying specially store price there. But otherwise, I mean, like I said, you would be paying like half the price for those little weaponizers. Because I remember I actually wanted to get those to paint up like the some of the Action Master animal gun partners.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, when I first saw them, I mean, it's like it might cost me like $15, so less than a deluxe to get all of them, like the first set of 3 of them.
Jeez.
So,
But just wait until 3 months. They're gonna drop down. They're gonna discontinue all that stuff.
Yeah.
Wait.
oh, I know.
Shiva Cody says, I have Takara penny racers. Those things were made in Taiwan. And also says, as long as things were made in Taiwan, Hong Kong, and I'm not sure how to pronounce the other two, the MACAU and MACAO, things were fine. And she also says that's where those little dinky animal Rise of the Beast things were $6 at Wally World. Well, don't forget, in terms of shafting our dollar, it's like 75 cents compared to the US, which is true.
One thing I'll never understand about Canada is we sell our goods and our services to the United States for them to put it in a box and then sell it back to us for even more money. Because they're using our plastic.
Why?
Well, I answered the question of what plastics were they using initially for like the late 70s, early 80s?
Same plastic. It's all thermal plastics. If you take, it doesn't matter which transformer you got from which era. If you take a hairdryer to this plastic, right?
Okay.
Once you get it up to 130 degrees, it will melt, guaranteed. Or you can bend it. Like, a lot of this is recycled plastic now too as well, right? But back in the 80s, they weren't using recycled, but it was still all thermal plastic, because thermal plastic, you heat it up, it goes into the mold, and they need to have it dry and cool quickly, so they can't have the mold hot, like it's not 280 degrees, you know what I mean? Where if you touch it, you definitely burn yourself. Like I was saying with thermal plastic I have right here, this is actually only 120 degrees and it will melt.
Okay.
So you can literally touch it with your hand and mold it any way you want to at that heat. Yeah, some people it might hurt them, but it's not hot enough to burn you, 3rd-degree burns, things like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's all the same plastic. Now, there is another type of plastic that they use, and I don't think I have a figure here that has it, but it is a high heat plastic, but it's almost like it's a memory plastic, okay? Because once you heat it up, you can't reheat it and shape it. It always goes back to the same type of shape, or it melts completely. I do have toys that do have it, but I don't have them here. I wish I could show that off, but you can tell the difference. Like, the plastic is twice as heavy as normal plastic. It has a different sound when you like tap on it. It's just, you know, it's more solid. I forget what the plastic's called, but most anything that's a toy is thermal plastic.
Well, it's almost 10 p.m., so I know we're going to be wrapping up soon. But I guess I pose a question to everyone, or a question or an idea, and this also includes everyone in the comments. If you had a chance to talk to someone at Hasbro about the quality of their products, what would you say to them? So, Mr. Magnus, what would you say to Hasbro if you had a chance to speak to them?
Same thing that I told you before everybody else got here earlier. Put more metal. Put the steel pins back in. Use some die cast to help hold the shape. Everything. And if that little bit of engineering costs a little more, I'm willing to pay for it. A better product for a little more, I understand it. There's cost. But I'd rather have the better product at a higher price than a cheaper product at a cheaper price.
Calvin, what about yourself?
Oh man, I guess I don't know where to start with this one, but I think I would just tell them, like Bill just said, but I would just do it in stages where you make certain things for kids, and you make things just like your average like collectors, stuff like that. You do it. You can do it in those stages. So the better the transformer is, the more you pay. And then just, like some of the figures that you have now got like these little gaps.
Mm-hmm.
They should come with kits. Literally, they should come with kits and extra parts. And that's one of the things I've always been kind of I wanted to reach out to them, let them know that you're giving us these cheap figures, and it's not worth that price. But we got to go back and go to a third party to buy kits and upgrades when they should come with. It should come with it, but if you go with the masterpiece versions of those and put metal in them and give them like extra parts and pieces and guns, I'm set. I'm good. Not just me.
Right.
And just give it to people who can configure the stuff, to show it live, do live shows on it, and then have these items ready to go out of the warehouse. I shouldn't have to wait 6 months to a year to get a figure. I shouldn't have to wait that long.
Right.
It's just stuff like that. It kind of irks me that my money gets me cheaper things, and then I go to order some from the agro, like Japan, it's better quality. I don't get this. So that's what I'm looking at right now. Those are the things that I have a complaint with.
I want to add a little bit to that. Don't make us have to go and get a third-party upgrade kit. If a third party can figure it out, then the original developers should already know it.
I agree 1,000%.
Well, we shouldn't have to buy a $30 figure and then buy a $30 kit to make it look like what we want it to look like.
Right.
Every one of my combiner war ones, every one of them, I had to buy an upgrade kit to make them look normal.
And with that, guys, it is time for me to turn in. So, pleasure being on the show. I will see you all next week.
All right, sir.
Deuces. For
Take
those
care.
of you that are in America, don't blow your hands off.
I don't have fingers
Pleasure,
anymore.
guys.
All right, take care. Shiva Kobe has a comment that she would direct to Hasbro and said, I'd say they need to use plastic that doesn't shatter and employ designers that know what they're doing, and yes, some die cast, etc. And Sedum Bach, what would you say to Hasbro if you had the chance?
I'd say my biggest gripe would be the yellow plastic, because that's still a modern thing. Siege to today, I know I heard rumors about some of the Motor Masters, and that's a part of a combiner, and that's a commander class figure, so that's like at least minimum of $80, and it has yellowing plastic. I mean, out of the box.
Wow.
But beyond that, just trying to think, like
something that annoys me with like Hasbro Pacific, it's like Hasbro Pulse, like they'll have like stuff out in the shops like months before their own stuff, and I mean it's like there. And I know like I had Tarantulas on pre-order because I'm like a big Beast Wars guy, and Tarantulas was like I know I had said Tarantulas and Beast Wars and Secticons were some of the few Transformers I drew pictures of in my lifetime. And I had them on pre-order, and I saw them at one of my comic shops, and I said, yeah, screw it, I'm canceling that pre-order because I got sick of waiting for Hasbro process pre-orders. And then the other one I don't like, and this is the opposite end of the pre-order scheduling spectrum, is Amazon. They'll send stuff like months or like 1 or 2 months earlier than what they were initially saying.
Yep.
So then you're like, all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, it's like, so it screws up your, your money planning, your budget planning. So, and I have been happy with Entertainment Earth. I think I did, I finally got Jetfire through them at a decent price when they did the re-release of it this last time around. When they're like, okay, let's get it for those people that maybe don't want to jump onto the masterpiece level pricing wise, but they don't want to pay the late tax on the Jetfire on eBay and Amazon Marketplace and all that stuff. And I got their Motor Master re-release on pre-order with them, and so far, and I had ordered with them in the past, but I've always been happy with them because they'll stick with their pre-orders. I mean, they don't wait like obscene amounts of times like Hasbro Pulse, but they don't jump the gun like Amazon either.
Okay. And Freakenstein, what say you? If you had a chance.
I want to hear what you said.
Fireworks.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna mute your mic just for a moment since you have fireworks in the background. I mean, for myself, I don't collect the newer figures, although I do have a few handfuls of like the new Slug that came out and a couple random ones here and there. But I ended up with them either as a gift or or just for whatever reason. But I don't usually collect the newer ones. But from what I've seen and the complaints, I would say to Hasbro that they need to really focus on their quality control. Because when I see videos and pictures of third-party characters and the quality that they put into it compared to what Hasbro puts in, it's a night and day comparison. Whereas like it just seems like Hasbro knows they have fans for 40 years, but they're not giving those fans what they appreciate. And more in a sense, they're like, well, you guys were kids in the 80s. We know you're adults now, so we'll just put together whatever cheaply because we know you guys will afford it and buy it anyways. I'm like, that's really not the case. A third party is going to come out and do a much better job. One specifically I do remember is Blitzwing. One of the companies where they included the football from one of the episodes, and it's a minor detail like that Hasbro really should have been on top of, not a third-party company.
I agree with you 100% with that, because a lot of the third-party toys, like I told you previously, they got the episode where they're all wearing the underwater creature mask, so they're in disguise, and it even comes with that and all that kind of stuff. I love that kind of stuff because now you can reenact the toys. So let me get what I want to say real quick, okay? And I know you already know. I already told you, but if I had a chance to speak to Hasbro, I would say this: stop what you're doing. Build an app that is text to speech that I can turn into an MP3 of every single character that I have and every single character that you're going to come out with, that I can either purchase or you give it to us for free so we can reenact our favorite episodes or make our own episodes using the voice of our characters that we all love and grown to love over the years. And I guarantee you, if you pause on your lines and focus on 3 lines and give us that app, more people will buy your toys just for that reason, to use the voice of Optimus Prime, Megatron, Soundwave, whoever your favorite character is, to make a video, whether it be a shitty do video or a professional stop animation video. People will buy your toys more for that reason alone, that you can use the voice. That's all I got to say.
Cool. And Professor D, adding to what I've said, it's a KFC. And Dick is the 3P Blitzwing that comes with the football. And I asked a question, and to you, Professor D, if you had a chance to direct a question to Hasbro, what would you say? A question or a statement? And Shiva Kobia, I didn't know Kentucky Fried Chicken make knockoffs. This is a joke. Do not ask me about it. I've every single time I hear the third party company KFC, automatically I think of Kentucky Fried Chicken as well. It's just a default, but we don't go down that road. But it is funny for them to have the exact same acronyms.
It's actually called Keith's Fantasy Club.
That is correct. Yes.
So,
Mhm.
so I got a good question then. Why don't Hasbro just do it this way? Whoever like third party to the third party companies, if you can make me the best G1 series Transformers, we give you a contract.
Oh, they do. They do that. That's why these third parties are allowed to make these toys, but they're not allowed to use the exact names or put the logos on. But there are spots on all of these guys. Like, I'll even show you with Lewin Resources. This is a third party contract. But if you look in the shoulder right here, sorry guys, he's really dusty because I need to fix him. But you see where the emblem goes, right?
Yep.
They're not allowed to put that on there, and they're not allowed to call him Optimus Prime. But they do work for Hasbro. They do. Hasbro gets money from all these companies. A third-party company that would make a Transformer today would get sued, and they'd be out of business. So they do work for them. Again, here's a prime example. Robeson makes self-transforming Optimus Primes and so on and so forth. They are partners with Hasbro. Okay, KFC's partners with Hasbro, Mastermind Creations, Ocular Max, X Transbots. All these companies pay Hasbro for the licensing of their toys to be made. And again, that was one of my big points. These third-party companies that are small compared to Hasbro are making better toys than Hasbro's making. Meanwhile, they're still paying Hasbro.
Well, I mean, the funny thing is, when you say that the smaller companies are making better products, and I know Professor D would and possibly yourself as well would agree with, in terms of like when you look at the music industry, the local artists always made better music than the ones that were signed by the labels, because the labels have the $1 million budgets and they're telling people who the public should be the number one artist, when really the best artists are the ones that aren't getting signed and just have a shoestring budget, but they're making their music from their heart, and they're doing they're putting the soul into it. It sounds a lot better than the commercial stuff.
I've noticed a pattern though with Hasbro. As soon as a third party makes a good Transformer and it's got a unique way of transforming it, they are on top of that and stealing that to use in their toys.
And it's funny you say that. That's not any different from the corporations. Whereas like any corporate entity that sees that the smaller grassroots has an idea that that the community loves and that works, they will find a way to buy it out, destroy it, or do whatever they can to take that idea either convince the public that it was their idea or buy them out and shelf it. So that way it's in a sense, they're scared of a smaller competition. They will find ways to end that competition and just, take it as their own.
Yeah.
Professor D says, or is saying to me, Spin, Freakenstein's idea for Hasbro to make the TF voice app is brilliant. I honestly got nothing better. That's my suggestion to them. Do what he said. So he fully agrees with the voice app.
We all want it. You all want it. You know you do.
So I know TFCon is coming up in Toronto, then not next week, the following weekend. So I know our next stream next Sunday, we're going to be, discussing everything about that. So, before we sign off for the evening, what does everyone have to promote or have upcoming for the upcoming week?
Oh boy, I got to work, but tomorrow I get paid for tomorrow, and then 4th of July I get paid, and then I go back to work on the 5th, and I'll come back home until the 17th.
Oh.
So yeah, my career is over.
And Sedum, what about yourself?
My week's gonna be a little bit weird because of July 4th, the day it lands. I'm not gonna be doing as much stuff as I normally would during the week, so kind of just be a slow week for me, both creatively, professionally, just in general.
I hear that. Well, I mean, we all need time to just relax. And Freakenstein, yourself?
Okay, so I have at least 2 video reviews about these guys that I got to do, and I kind of opened the box a little early just to use for comparison for today. But I also have stuff that I have to build for the con as well. I have to build posable mannequins for the costumes that I have because I just can't find people to go and wear the costumes that I have. One of my biggest things I'd love to do is dress up in my Optimus Prime, Megatron, or Soundwave costume and take pictures with people. Love it. Just love it. Because just seeing the people smile, it's awesome. So I decided to make these mannequins. I was supposed to do it 2 days ago, but I don't have a truck. I have a motorcycle. And trying to carry a 11-foot pipe home on a motorcycle does not work.
No.
And unfortunately, the only person that I do know that has a truck is my mom. God love her. She said she would do it, but she got sick. So hopefully tomorrow I can get started on that. But I want to make videos of me building these things and showing people what I did. It's simple, but I also have to make a mold for this piece right here. This is the joint mold. And it's going to be difficult to do, but again, you can do anything with thermoplastics. I just got to make a silicone mold and use the thermoplastic, throw it in the microwave. It'll all mold together, and I'll get that joint. So I got to make like 12 of these, plus cut the pipe, fit it to the costumes, all in time before I even get to TFCon. But really, that's the only thing that's been on my mind is TFCon. So it's like I literally had no hope of going, and then all of a sudden a miracle happened. And I was like, thank Primus.
Yes.
And thank you guys, man. Like, honestly, it's been a really great time since I've been on your show twice now, and I really appreciate all of you guys. And I can't say enough good things about you guys. And whoever's watching, make sure you subscribe, because these guys are going to be doing this for a while. They all got good stuff to say, and whether you agree or disagree, you might learn something.
It's true, and thank you. And And as you suggested, like we're gonna start listing everyone's social medias, their channels, and everything. So anytime anyone watches a video, they can also connect to everyone that's in the video or within the crew that shows up, even if they're not here this week. We're still promoting everyone. And Shiva Kobe says July 4th is when I might end up with 1 or 2 new Transformers. A happy America Day in advance and happy belated Canada Day.
Yeah, Freakenstein's channeling that last minute cosplayer energy. You were reminding me a lot of my friend Hijabi Hooligan. Like some of the last few cons she went to, she had stuff that she was working on, like tree cosplays 2 days in advance to the show she had to go to. So
Wow.
I was like,
that's crazy.
she was Loki. I'm trying to remember some Aztecs Legend character, and I can't remember what the turd cosplay was, but so yeah, I know what I've heard multiple cosplayers, but her specifically came to mind. Like when you were talking about last minute work, cosplay and the mannequins and fitting your extra costumes to put on the mannequins, since you can't always get people to wear your costumes with you. I was like, ooh, I've heard this line of stress before. But you have fun doing it, so that's all that matters at the end of the day. You have fun by the end of it. You might not feel like you're having fun when you're stressing out, like, I gotta get it done. I'm like the White Rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. But once you've done it and you see, like, I did that, I made that happen.
That's exactly it. Is that the dedication and just the when you put your heart into it and you put love into it, like it works. It works.
Like I always say, bottom line is this: whether you like the new stuff, the old stuff, it doesn't matter. It's all Transformers, and always till all are one, right?
So
There you go.
So
Yes.
I got another question. So for the ones who don't subscribe, I have 3 Ravages that's ready to maul somebody, and I have 3 laser beaks that will fly to your house and drop off and steal some goods. So subscribe. If you do subscribe, guess what? Blaster will come to your house and do some break dances. That's right.
Yep, custom sound wave.
There he is at his finest moments.
There's a little rabbit somewhere running around here, but I can't find him. But I decided to give this guy away and the little rabbit. My mom made this. My mom's awesome. She's 7 years old and she still supports me playing with toys. So
that's
she made
right
this for
there.
me, and
better for you than drugs.
My 750th subscriber since I never thought in a million years that I would get so many subscribers so fast, being a goofball, speaking my mind and sticking to my guns and just having fun with everything. But there's something I wanted to show you. Here is one of the mastermind creations.
Yes.
Steel
I was
jaw.
telling you about these things.
Right.
And I do have them all. I really do have them all. Here's a laser beak.
Oh,
and you were talking about the gimmicks, right?
Yeah.
Here's a gimmick right there.
You got the spy camera.
Nice.
The camera.
Exactly.
And metal.
Oh, man.
Right? Here's another one. And these are full-size cassette tapes. No joking around. They're not, literally, they're full-size tapes.
See, why can't we get stuff like this? Oh,
Okay?
my
Not only
goodness.
are they full-size tapes, but I want Mastermind Creations, I want Max to build me a Soundwave and blaster that will fit this. And put a damn MP3 player in there.
Definitely next week. we're going to discuss those characters because those were TF exclusives, right?
What's that?
Were those ones the TF exclusives?
Most of them were, yes.
Okay, so definitely next week we're gonna, while we're talking about the TF Con, we can talk about those characters and any other exclusives. Because I believe Anthony should be back for next week as well.
They're definitely my new favorite Transformer toys.
Nice.
They are beefy and they don't break and they're metal. They're the correct size for Masterpiece, that's for sure. Like I wish I had my Masterpiece Soundwave out right now so I could show you. Actually, wait, I do have them. So let's just bring him out and let's get out Ravage. So here is your Masterpiece third-party acoustic wave, and here's the Ravage.
Ooh, look at that!
Nice.
Like
And
it
that
does
fits
go
into his
scale,
chest.
but I still want a Soundwave big enough to fit this that has
Yeah,
an MP3 player in it.
that makes sense.
Like hell, I bought $1,000 Unicron. I bought $1,000 Robeson. In fact, I bought 2 of each. I bought $1,200 Predaking. I will spend the money to buy an MP3 player, especially if they make it this quality. Now this guy is all metal except for this piece right here. This piece right here, that's the only thing that's not metal. Everything else is metal.
Wow.
But yes, we're definitely gonna have to talk about TFCon.
Yes.
Because like I feel like a kid in a candy store and I've been feeling this way for like the last 10 days that I found out that I was going. I'm like, I got all this energy for TFCon. I just can't wait to just put smiles on people's faces, man. I really can't. Like nothing better than walking up to somebody and they're like, "That Soundwave, can I get a picture?" You know, like you know
it's
you
gonna
can,
be fun.
man.
It's gonna be fun. Shiva Kobe on YouTube says, "Congrats to Anthony," but I guess I can tell him next week. So definitely, and Anthony and Jess, when Jess pops in, but Anthony will be here next week, and he hasn't updated me if there is a post coming out for tomorrow, but there most likely is. So I say check on the website, childrenofprimus.com, in our news and review section, where Pete has a review every week on a character that he's got. And and like our videos, subscribe to our channels, and subscribe to everyone else's channels that's within our crew, with Freakenstein and CM Block Arts, Toy Facts and Cruisers Motorsports. Was actually Toy Warp Vintage Reviews. So, subscribe to their channels as well. And thank you everyone, for rolling through once again in the comments, and to you guys and to all our one.
Alrighty, folks.